The intergalactic combat arenas had become the centerpiece of entertainment across the galaxy, a grand spectacle where warriors from countless planets clashed in battles that combined skill, strategy, and raw strength. These arenas weren't just about combat, they symbolized prestige and dominance for the civilizations they represented. Victory in the arena wasn't merely a personal triumph, but a testament to the superiority of one's entire species. The competitions were brutal, unforgiving, and most importantly, an unshakable tradition. Earth, however, had always been excluded from this revered tradition. Among the galaxy's advanced civilizations, Earth was seen as a minor player, lacking not only technological sophistication but also the physical and mental discipline required to compete at such a level. To the galactic elite, humans were a primitive species, too reliant on rudimentary tools and too short-lived to master the nuances of interstellar combat. For centuries, Earth had been ignored, dismissed as irrelevant in the grand scheme of things. The gladiators who dominated these arenas came from planets where combat was ingrained in their culture. These warriors trained relentlessly, often from birth, in environments designed to push their limits. Some gladiators hailed from high-gravity worlds, making them naturally strong and resilient. Others had evolved on harsh, resource-scarce planets, which sharpened their instincts for survival. They fought not just for personal glory but to uphold the honor of their civilizations. Their battles were a blend of ancient techniques and advanced technology, showcasing the pinnacle of what their species could achieve. Over the years, Earth had made several attempts to send its representatives to the arenas. From overzealous adventurers to organized military units, every effort ended in humiliation. The competitors were either physically outmatched, mentally overwhelmed, or woefully unprepared for the strategies and technologies employed by the galaxy's finest. These failures only reinforced Earth's reputation as a backwater planet, incapable of understanding the complexities of true combat. The galactic audience grew increasingly dismissive, viewing Earth's persistent applications as an amusing footnote rather than a serious contender. This status quo might have persisted indefinitely if not for a figure who would change everything: a Shaolin monk. The Shaolin order was virtually unknown outside of Earth, an ancient discipline dedicated to mastering the mind and body through rigorous training and meditation. Unlike Earth's previous champions, who relied on brute force or technology, the Shaolin monk represented a philosophy of harmony, precision, and adaptability. But at this point in time, the galaxy remained oblivious to the quiet strength brewing in the mountains and temples of Earth. The arrival of the monk began with little fanfare. To the rest of the galaxy, it seemed like yet another futile attempt by Earth to prove itself. The monk, however, was no ordinary contender. Behind the calm demeanor and unassuming appearance lay a lifetime of dedication, a resolve unshaken by ridicule or rejection. The galaxy's greatest warriors had dismissed Earth's combatants for centuries, but they were about to encounter something they had never faced before. Earth's time of dismissal was coming to an end. The Shaolin Order, an ancient and disciplined sect hidden in the remote corners of Earth, had long embraced a philosophy that stood apart from conventional martial traditions. Unlike others who sought strength through physical dominance, the Shaolin teachings emphasized inner balance, precise movements, and the ability to anticipate and adapt. For centuries, the order quietly trained individuals who combined a profound understanding of mental clarity with extraordinary physical prowess, preparing them not for war but for mastery over themselves. It was within this order that the monk who would reshape Earth's destiny was forged. The monk's journey began not with ambition but with a sense of duty. Earth's repeated failures on the intergalactic stage had become a source of derision, and the monk, like many others, had observed how this mockery diminished the planet's standing. Yet, unlike those who had tried and failed with brute force or arrogance, the monk recognized the path forward lay not in proving Earth's strength but in demonstrating its ingenuity and spirit. Armed with the teachings of the Shaolin Order, the monk set out with a single purpose: to show the galaxy that Earth's potential had been grossly underestimated. The journey to the arenas was fraught with challenges that tested not only the monk's skills but also the depth of their resolve. Traveling through galactic systems where Earthlings were often regarded with disdain, the monk encountered resistance at every turn. Skeptics mocked the simplicity of Earth's ways, seeing no value in an unarmed figure dressed in traditional robes. The monk, however, responded not with indignation but with calm determination, their actions speaking louder than any words could. Reaching the arenas was only the first hurdle. The organizers, steeped in their own prejudices, saw no reason to admit yet another earthling into their ranks. They dismissed the monk's application outright, citing the planet's lack of credible victories as evidence of inevitable failure. Unwilling to back down, the monk requested a chance to demonstrate their capabilities. The organizers, amused by what they saw as futile confidence, reluctantly agreed, expecting nothing more than a brief diversion. What followed stunned the observers. The monk's demonstration was unlike anything they had seen. Rather than relying on sheer strength, the monk showcased a combination of fluid movements, precise strikes, and an uncanny ability to predict and counter attacks. Every motion was deliberate, every action purposeful, and by the time the demonstration ended, the laughter had been replaced with an awestruck silence. The organizers, while still skeptical, could no longer ignore the monk's evident skill and reluctantly granted a place in the lower tiers of the tournament. The monk's quiet triumph in gaining entry to the arenas marked the beginning of a shift. News of the mysterious Earthling's entry spread quickly, sparking curiosity and skepticism alike. Among the other competitors, reactions ranged from mild amusement to outright dismissal. Many believed the monk's success in entering the competition would be short-lived, another fleeting novelty in a tradition that thrived on spectacle. Yet, beneath the surface, there was an undeniable intrigue. For the first time, Earth's representative wasn't trying to imitate the galaxy's elite but was bringing something entirely new to the table. As preparations for the tournament continued, the monk remained focused, unwavering in their dedication. While others trained with advanced technology and elaborate strategies, the monk relied on meditation and the principles of the Shaolin order. This approach baffled their competitors, who could not comprehend how such simplicity could prepare anyone for the brutal battles ahead. Yet those who observed closely began to sense the depth of the monk's capabilities. There was a quiet intensity, a confidence that didn't stem from arrogance but from an unshakable belief in their methods. The monk's journey was more than a personal quest. It became a statement about Earth's resilience and the value of discipline over brute force. As the tournament approached, whispers of the Shaolin philosophy began to circulate among the participants and spectators. Some dismissed it as an outdated relic of a primitive world, while others saw it as a potential game-changer. Regardless of the opinions, one thing was certain: the monk had already succeeded in capturing the attention of the galaxy, a feat no Earthling had ever achieved before. By the time the monk's name appeared on the official roster, the initial ridicule Earth had faced had begun to fade. The galaxy's elite, while still skeptical, were now curious to see what this unassuming figure from a dismissed planet could accomplish. The monk's journey to the arenas wasn't just a test of skill but a testament to the power of determination and belief in a cause greater than oneself. Earth's long-dismissed presence was about to be redefined, one deliberate step at a time. The monk's entry into the tournament was met with mixed reactions. Competitors dismissed Earth's representative as a curiosity, assuming the battles would expose the monk's inadequacies. However, the monk's first match shattered expectations. Unlike traditional combatants who relied on strength and aggression, the monk's approach was precise, measured, and entirely unique. Every movement was calculated, avoiding unnecessary energy expenditure while exploiting the weaknesses of opponents. It was a demonstration of control, as much mental as physical, that left spectators and competitors alike questioning their assumptions. The monk's style was unlike anything the galaxy had seen. It combined fluidity and precision, with movements that seemed almost effortless. Opponents would lunge forward with devastating force, only to find their attacks redirected or neutralized with minimal effort. The monk's strategy relied on anticipation, reading the intentions of opponents before they could act and countering with strikes that were both decisive and efficient. This approach confused and frustrated opponents who were accustomed to battles dominated by brute force. As victories began to pile up, the murmurs among the spectators grew louder. The audience, initially skeptical, was drawn to the monk's unorthodox techniques. Unlike the violent clashes they had come to expect, the monks' battles were more like intricate dances, where every step had meaning. The monks' ability to remain calm under pressure and adapt to the strengths of various opponents set them apart. Each victory was not just a triumph, but a lesson in discipline, showing the galaxy a new way to approach combat. Among the competitors, opinions began to shift. What had started as ridicule turned into curiosity, and then, for some, respect. Gladiators who had dismissed the monk found themselves grappling with the realization that brute strength alone was insufficient. The monk's victories revealed gaps in their strategies, forcing even seasoned warriors to reconsider their approaches. These battles were not just physical contests, but intellectual challenges that required focus and adaptability. The monk's presence in the arena began to influence more than just the outcome of matches. The audience, drawn by the novelty of the Earthling's success, started to embrace the values demonstrated in these battles. Patience, strategy, and control became topics of discussion, challenging the long-standing narrative that raw power was the ultimate determinant of victory. Slowly, the cultural norms of the arenas began to shift, with spectators appreciating the elegance and complexity of the monks' methods. The monks' humility further endeared them to both the audience and their peers. Unlike many competitors who reveled in their victories, the monk treated each success as an opportunity for growth. After matches, they would often exchange words with defeated opponents, offering insights or expressing gratitude for the challenge. This behavior stood in stark contrast to the arrogance and bravado that often characterized the gladiatorial circuit. The monks' actions embodied the philosophy of the Shaolin order, emphasizing growth and mutual respect over dominance. As the tournament progressed, the monks' impact extended beyond the immediate competition. Observers from other planets began to take notice, intrigued by the Earthling who had managed to upend centuries of tradition. Reports and analyses circulated, dissecting the techniques and philosophy behind the monk's success. The ripple effect of these victories reached far and wide, sparking debates about the values underpinning intergalactic combat. What had started as an isolated effort by one individual was beginning to reshape perspectives on a much larger scale. Opponents who had underestimated the monk began to prepare with greater caution, yet even the most elaborate strategies often fell short. The monk's adaptability proved to be their greatest asset. In each match, they identified and exploited subtle patterns in their opponent's movements, adjusting their approach in real time. This ability to stay ahead of their adversaries was both unnerving and impressive, solidifying the monk's reputation as a formidable contender. Despite the mounting successes, the monk remained grounded. Each victory was met with quiet reflection rather than celebration. For the monk, the goal was never personal glory but to prove that Earth's potential had been misunderstood. This sense of purpose resonated with many, adding depth to the narrative of an underdog rising against all odds. The monk's journey became a symbol of resilience and the power of belief in one's principles. The galactic media, initially dismissive of Earth's latest contender, began to focus more on the monk's story. Analysts debated the implications of their success, while commentators marveled at the unprecedented rise of an Earthling in a competition dominated by more advanced civilizations. The monk's victories were no longer just individual achievements, but a source of inspiration for others who had been marginalized or underestimated. The idea that strength could take many forms began to take root, challenging the dominance of traditional combat ideologies. Through it all, the monk never strayed from their core philosophy. The teachings of the Shaolin order, which emphasized balance and humility, remained central to their approach. The monk's consistent adherence to these principles served as a reminder that true strength lies not in the tools one wields or the force one can exert but in the ability to remain unwavering in one's convictions. This quiet confidence was perhaps the most striking aspect of the monk's journey, setting them apart from every other competitor. The growing respect for the monk extended beyond the arena. Fellow gladiators began to seek their advice, not just about combat but about the mindset required to achieve such clarity and focus. These interactions fostered an environment of mutual learning, breaking down barriers that had long separated competitors. The monk's influence was transforming the culture of the arenas from within, creating a space where ideas and techniques could be exchanged openly. By the time the monk reached the upper tiers of the tournament, they were no longer viewed as an anomaly. The Earthling who had once been dismissed as irrelevant had become a force to be reckoned with. Each match reinforced the idea that combat was as much about mental acuity as physical ability. The monk's journey was no longer just about proving Earth's worth but about challenging the galaxy to rethink what it valued in its champions. The arenas, once defined by their brutality, were beginning to embrace a new narrative, one where strength and wisdom were equally celebrated. The final match of the tournament became the most anticipated event in the galaxy. The Shaolin monk had defied every expectation, earning victories not through brute strength but with a combination of precision, discipline, and intelligence. The ultimate challenge came in the form of the reigning champion, a gladiator whose reputation was unmatched. This warrior had dominated the arenas for years, a figure whose name symbolized absolute supremacy. For many, this final battle was seen as the moment when the monk's improbable journey would finally meet its limit. The champion was unlike any opponent the monk had faced before. A towering figure with unmatched physical prowess, the champion was revered not only for raw power but also for unparalleled strategic mastery. Every move they made was calculated, and every strike delivered devastating results. Their victories had rarely been contested, leaving a trail of defeated opponents who had no answer to their overwhelming force. It was clear this battle would test the monk's philosophy and skills to the extreme. As the match began, it became apparent that the champion was prepared. They had studied the monk's prior battles, understanding the importance of adaptability in countering the monk's unconventional methods. The champion began with a series of rapid, overwhelming attacks, aiming to keep the monk on the defensive and deny any opportunity for control. Despite the relentless assault, the monk remained calm, evading blows with remarkable precision and responding with subtle counterattacks designed to disrupt the champion's rhythm. What followed was a clash of contrasting philosophies. The champion's approach emphasized dominance, an unyielding display of strength meant to crush any resistance. The monk's strategy, however, revolved around finding balance, exploiting the champion's aggression to create openings. With each exchange, the crowd witnessed a battle not just of physicality but of ideologies. It was a contest between raw power and calculated restraint, with neither side giving any ground. The monk's ability to anticipate the champion's moves became a critical factor. While the champion's strength was undeniable, their reliance on overwhelming force occasionally left them vulnerable. The monk identified these moments, delivering precise strikes that disrupted the flow of the battle. These attacks were not meant to cause immediate harm but to chip away at the champion's confidence and control. Each successful maneuver demonstrated the value of patience and clarity, hallmarks of the Shaolin philosophy. The turning point came when the champion, frustrated by the monk's resilience, unleashed a series of high-risk moves meant to end the battle decisively. These attacks, while powerful, carried a degree of predictability that the monk had been waiting for. With remarkable composure, the monk countered each move, turning the champion's strength against them. This sequence left the crowd stunned, as the monk began to shift the momentum of the match in their favor. As the battle reached its climax, it became clear that the champion's strength alone would not be enough. The monk's approach, grounded in discipline and adaptability, had created an environment where brute force was no longer the deciding factor. The champion, realizing the futility of their strategy, attempted to outthink the monk, but by then, it was too late. The monk's ability to stay several steps ahead had already determined the outcome. When the final moment arrived, it was not marked by a dramatic display of violence but by a single, decisive move. The monk, having carefully analyzed the champion's tendencies, delivered a strike that brought the battle to a sudden and undeniable conclusion. The crowd, initially silent in disbelief, erupted into thunderous applause, recognizing the magnitude of what they had just witnessed. Earth's representative, once dismissed as irrelevant, had achieved the impossible. The monk's victory was more than just a personal triumph. It was a symbolic moment that redefined the narrative surrounding Earth and its place in the galaxy. For centuries, Earth had been seen as a weak and insignificant planet, incapable of contributing anything of value to intergalactic traditions. The monk's success challenged that perception, proving that strength was not solely about physical power or advanced technology, but about the ability to think, adapt, and persevere. In the aftermath of the match, the champion, humbled by defeat, approached the monk with a gesture of respect. The exchange between the two was brief but powerful, a silent acknowledgement of the monk's extraordinary achievement. This moment resonated deeply with the audience, symbolizing the potential for mutual understanding and growth even in the face of competition. The monk's victory also sparked a broader shift in the perception of the arenas. For generations, the gladiatorial tournaments had been defined by their brutality, with audiences celebrating the most destructive and overwhelming displays of force. The monk's success introduced a new narrative, one that valued strategy, discipline, and balance over sheer power. Spectators began to question the traditions they had long accepted, opening the door for a more nuanced understanding of what it meant to be a true champion. Beyond the arenas, the impact of the monk's journey was felt across the galaxy. Planets that had once viewed Earth with disdain began to reevaluate their assumptions, inspired by the idea that even the most unlikely contender could rise to greatness. The principles of the Shaolin order, once confined to a single planet, started to gain traction as a universal philosophy. Combatants from other civilizations began to incorporate elements of the monk's teachings into their own practices, signaling a shift in the cultural fabric of the intergalactic community. For Earth, the monk's victory marked a turning point. No longer dismissed as an inferior species, humanity found itself at the center of a transformative moment in galactic history. The monk's journey demonstrated that Earth's contributions to the galaxy could extend far beyond what had been previously imagined. It was a moment of redemption, one that redefined Earth's role in the broader interstellar landscape. The final match of the tournament was not just an end but a beginning. It set the stage for a new era in the arenas, one where strength and wisdom were equally valued. The monk's legacy, forged through discipline and perseverance, became a source of inspiration for countless others. The story of Earth's unlikely triumph reminded the galaxy that greatness could emerge from the most unexpected places, and that true strength lies not in domination but in the mastery of oneself. The monk's victory in the tournament marked the culmination of a journey defined by discipline, resilience, and the determination to challenge centuries of assumptions. However, the impact of this triumph extended far beyond the arena. After the tournament, the monk chose a path of quiet departure rather than basking in the glory of the moment. For the monk, the victory was not about personal acclaim, but about demonstrating Earth's potential and the enduring value of Shaolin principles. This decision reflected the core philosophy of balance and humility, reinforcing the idea that true strength lies in the ability to inspire change without seeking dominance. The ripple effect of the monk's success was felt across the galaxy almost immediately. On Earth, the victory was hailed as a transformative moment, sparking a newfound sense of pride and purpose. The Shaolin teachings, once a niche philosophy practiced in isolated temples, gained widespread recognition. People across the planet began to explore the principles of discipline, mindfulness, and adaptability that had underpinned the monk's achievements. Institutions dedicated to martial arts and personal development saw a surge in interest, with many adopting elements of Shaolin philosophy into their curricula. The monk's journey had become a catalyst for cultural renewal, inspiring humanity to strive for greater self-mastery and understanding. Beyond Earth, the impact was even more profound. The galaxy, which had long regarded Earth as insignificant, began to reassess its view of the planet and its people. The monk's success demonstrated that innovation and strength could emerge from unexpected places. This realization led to a broader appreciation of diversity, with civilizations that had previously dismissed Earthlings now expressing interest in their culture and philosophies. For the first time, Earth was invited to participate in intergalactic forums and discussions, marking a significant shift in its status within the cosmic community. The teachings of the Shaolin order resonated deeply with individuals from other civilizations. Combatants who had witnessed the monk's journey firsthand began to incorporate elements of the philosophy into their own training regimens. The emphasis on balance, precision, and mental clarity offered a refreshing alternative to the traditional focus on brute strength and aggression. This shift was not limited to the arenas, it influenced broader aspects of intergalactic society, including diplomacy, education, and leadership. The monks' victory had sparked a movement that transcended combat, encouraging a more holistic approach to personal and collective growth. The cultural shift within the arenas was particularly striking. The gladiatorial tradition, once defined by its emphasis on domination and spectacle, began to embrace a more nuanced understanding of competition. Audiences, inspired by the monks' performance, started to value strategy and skill over raw power. This change in perspective led to the introduction of new rules and formats that prioritized creativity and adaptability. The monks' legacy had redefined what it meant to be a champion, transforming the arenas into a platform for innovation and mutual respect. As the influence of the Shaolin philosophy spread, the monks' teachings began to take on a life of their own. Practitioners from diverse backgrounds adapted the principles to suit their unique circumstances, creating a rich tapestry of interpretations and applications. This evolution reflected the adaptability of the philosophy itself, which encouraged individuals to find their own paths to mastery. The monk's journey had not only inspired others to embrace the teachings but had also empowered them to make those teachings their own. For the monk, the true measure of success lay not in the accolades received but in the lives transformed by their journey. The victory in the tournament was a means to an end, a platform to showcase the values that had guided them throughout their life. This perspective ensured that the monk remained grounded, focused on the greater purpose of fostering understanding and growth. The monk's humility and commitment to their principles continued to resonate with those who encountered their story, reinforcing the idea that true strength comes from within. Earth's newfound prominence in the galaxy brought both opportunities and challenges. As the planet began to engage more actively with the intergalactic community, it faced the task of balancing its traditions with the demands of a rapidly changing landscape. The monk's example served as a guiding light during this transition, reminding humanity of the importance of staying true to its values while embracing innovation and collaboration. This balance was key to ensuring that Earth's integration into the cosmic fold was both meaningful and sustainable. The legacy of the monk extended beyond the realm of combat and diplomacy. The values they embodied began to influence other areas of life, from education and art to science and technology. Researchers and innovators drew inspiration from the Shaolin philosophy, finding ways to integrate its principles into their work. This interdisciplinary approach led to breakthroughs that might not have been possible without the monk's influence. The monk's journey had become a symbol of what humanity could achieve when it embraced both its strengths and its limitations. The impact of the monk's story was also deeply personal for many individuals. Across the galaxy, people found inspiration in the idea that greatness could emerge from humility and perseverance. The monk's journey served as a reminder that challenges, no matter how insurmountable they might seem, could be overcome through discipline and self-belief. This message resonated particularly strongly with those who had been marginalized or underestimated, offering hope and a sense of possibility. As the years passed, the monks' legacy continued to grow. The story of their journey became a source of inspiration for future generations, a reminder of the transformative power of discipline and dedication. Monuments and tributes were created in their honor, not to glorify their achievements but to celebrate the values they represented. The monk's name became synonymous with the idea that true strength lies in the ability to inspire and uplift others. The monk's departure from the spotlight was not the end of their influence but the beginning of a new chapter. The teachings they had embodied continued to spread, reaching corners of the galaxy that had never before encountered such ideas. This quiet, enduring impact was a testament to the monk's vision and the universal appeal of the Shaolin philosophy. The story of Earth's unlikely champion had become a beacon of hope, a reminder that even the smallest spark could ignite a galaxy-wide transformation.